Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Vitamin C is one of the hottest ingredients in skincare, with just about every brand having a vitamin C serum as part of their collection. There are some game-changing results that you can get from the right vitamin C serum. It'll brighten the complexion, boost collagen and elastin for some anti-aging benefits, and fade hyperpigmentation, dark spots and discoloration. It's also a powerful antioxidant to protect the skin all day long. However, as with everything in skincare, there are some ding-ding-ding holy grail serums and some wah-wah-wah vitamin C fails. In this video, I want to call out some of the bad guys, the poorly formulated vitamin C serums that might actually be doing nothing but costing you your hard-earned coin. Hopefully, by calling out some of the issues with these, we'll become more informed as consumers, helping us to choose the right vitamin C for our skincare routine. So, sit back, relax, let's take out the worst vitamin C serums. Now, before we get into this video, this is actually like part 2 of a series I'm running here on vitamin C, and I've already covered like the good guys in the vitamin C world, which I'll leave a link to that video up there. Definitely want to check out because that's got all the positivity, all the wonderful formulations that could be game-changing for your skin. I think it's really important we cover the opposite side to that because I think the best consumers are informed ones, and I want to give you guys as much information as possible so you can make the right decisions for your skincare routine. But definitely check that video out after this one so you can kind of get the complete picture. Before we delve in, just a quick reminder to do all that YouTubey stuff if you haven't already. If you could reach down and give this video a big thumbs up and a like, you know it by now, but it does support me and the channel so much, and I'm always so grateful for each and every one of you that just takes that small moment out of your day to like the content I create here on Mad About Skin. We've now launched a TikTok channel. Yes, I know, I'm getting down with the kids, the Generation Z and all that crowd. I always thought I was a little bit too old for TikTok, but I thought, you know what, you've got to be in it sometimes to explore and experiment. I'm having a lot of fun over there. So if you did want to join us over on TikTok as well, it's at Mad About Skin. I'll leave a link in the description box below because we would absolutely love to see you and have you follow us over on there too. My heart will always be with YouTube, but it's nice to offer a little bit of variety. Now, with all that being said, let's just cut that waffle and delve straight on in. I think with vitamin C, unlike a lot of other ingredients in skincare, a lot of things go into making a good vitamin C serum. From the formulation to the other ingredients used alongside it, the packaging, the types of vitamin C used, it can be a little bit of a minefield and so confusing for us, the consumer. Which is why, hopefully by calling out some of the bad things that these brands are doing, we'll be a little bit more informed about what goes into making a good vitamin C when we come to choose one for our skincare routine. Now, let's start with the Klairs freshly juiced vitamin drops, which unfortunately, because it's a bad product, is actually one of the best selling vitamin C's on the market. This has literally hundreds of 5-star reviews, which is why a lot of people think, okay, this must be a good product. Always read reviews with a pinch of salt because often brands, promote the 5-star ones and suppress the 1-star ones. We've had brands in the past falsifying reviews. I'm not saying that's what Klairs are doing at all, but there's ways of manipulating these reviews. So I always say find a more in-depth review of the product, kind of watch it or read it and work out what someone else's user and independent experience has been with the product. I covered my thoughts, feelings, opinions on this in a separate video, which I'll link up there. But briefly, I think this has a number of issues. Let's start with the packaging first. It's not in an airtight packet, so this is going to be a product that oxidizes relatively quickly. Vitamin C is inherently unstable. As soon as it's exposed to oxygen, it starts to oxidize, which means it's just not going to be as effective on the skin. The brand has done nothing to prevent that. It's not stabilized the form of vitamin C or used airtight packaging in a pump form. This is just a standard dropper bottle, which honestly isn't great for the price they want you to pay. This is a product that's also in completely the wrong pH. pH is crucial with vitamin C. You get 2 different types of vitamin C here. You get a vitamin C derivative that isn't pH sensitive, and you get a pure form ascorbic acid, which is crucial that it's got the right pH so it can actually get into the skin and do some work. You need a low pH formulation for ascorbic acid to actually penetrate the skin, or you need to formulate it in a way where it's lipid soluble, which will allow that transfer. This brand has done none of that, so I think in this product it's only the vitamin C derivative that's actually doing any of the heavy lifting. That ascorbic acid probably isn't doing anything for the skin. It's formulated with 46 other ingredients, which is a mind-blowingly high number of ingredients for a vitamin C serum. And vitamin C itself can be quite sensitizing on the skin, so I really don't like to see it paired with a humongous ingredients list like this one, because I think, it only takes one ingredient to cause a sensitivity reaction. So I think a sensitizing ingredient like vitamin C should have an ingredients list that's kept to an absolute minimum. There's lots of fillers in here. There's lots of things such as citrus extracts that again could sensitize the skin. They're not necessary, they're not needed, and I just think that this product is pretty much a firm pass for me. Now let's move seamlessly on to the La Roche-Posay Vitamin C 10% Serum. Now I applaud La Roche-Posay for actually declaring the concentration of the vitamin C on their product. It's really important because vitamin C, because it's sensitizing, you need to know the concentration so you can match it to your skin type. Go for something in a 5% concentration if you have super sensitive skin type. You can go upwards of like 20% if you have a more resilient skin type. So always bear that in mind, and I'm glad that the concentration is front and center on the bottle. Unfortunately, that's pretty much where my praise for this product ends. This is a terrible formulation. Let's start with the pH. We've already covered why pH actually matters, and this has a pretty neutral pH, so most of the ascorbic acid in this is going to be doing nothing, nada for your skin. It'll sit on top, it won't actually be going into the skin and adding any additional benefit, which is such a shame because this is asking for £35 for just 30 mils of this product. Ridiculously high price point for a product that just isn't going to deliver. Besides just the pH issues, this also has drying alcohol and fragrance in it. Now, I don't mind drying alcohols and fragrance generally in my skincare routine because I have a super oily, acne-prone skin type. But I think in a vitamin C serum, which is already going to be a little bit sensitizing on the skin, you really want to avoid denatured and drying alcohols and fragrance. They're just going to strip and dry the skin further, create and exacerbate any sensitivity that you have, and this is just a really poor formulation from a brand that I kind of think should know better. Now let's come on to one of my absolute favourite brands, said with no sarcasm at all, the Dr. Barbara Stürm The Good Vitamin C Serum. So straight off the bat, the price point, £110. For £110, I expect game-changing results, and you are really not going to get it with this formulation. I think another pitfall with vitamin C is because it's such a popular ingredient, brands have really jacked up the price of their vitamin C serums, and so you have to be very mindful that when you pay more, you're actually getting more for it, and you're absolutely not with this formulation. Let's start with my issue with the name, The Good Vitamin C, which kind of implies that all the other vitamin C serums are bad. When brands do this, say that their product is game-changing and everything else is garbage and should be avoided, let that ring alarm bells for you. No brand is flawless, and there are so many amazing vitamin C serums on the market. Even if this was a good one, which it's not, it'd be alongside some other great options. It's not the best on the market, and I think that sort of marketing is outdated and really should ring alarm bells if you see it on packaging. Let's first come on to the styles of vitamin C. So, the brand says that it formulates vitamin C in the provenly optimal concentration of 5%. Nowhere has any study said that 5% is the optimum vitamin C. It's all about matching it to your individual skin type and the level of sensitivity you have, so that's super misleading. Also, that 5% concentration is mixed of 3 different forms of vitamin C. You've got a vitamin C derivative, which I like, super gentle but effective in the long term. You've got a lipid-soluble, stabilised form of ascorbic acid, which again is good because it gets into the skin without needing a super low pH. And then you've got a plant vitamin C. If you see plant-derived vitamin Cs, ignore it. You know what, they might absolutely work, but there still needs a lot more studies behind it to kind of prove how effective they are, and I think relying on this as part of that 5% concentration is a bit misleading. To me, there's 2 proven forms of vitamin C in here that will absolutely deliver, but if they're in like a 3% concentration, that is absolutely not worth that £110 price point, and I think this is a product that definitely needs to go back to the drawing board. Now let's talk the Garnier Vitamin C Brightening Serum. This, similar to, I think, the Barbara Sturm one, has a little bit of a misleading concentration going on there. So it says it's formulated with a 3.5% blend of vitamin C, salicylic acid, and niacinamide. I think on first look, you think, oh, that's 3.5% concentration of each of those ingredients. That's actually quite a nice blend. No, that's a 3.5% concentration of all of those ingredients combined. If you look at the ingredients list, niacinamide is first and foremost, so that's probably making up like 2.5% of this, and the rest is a little salicylic acid, a little bit vitamin C. So I think it would be fairer to call this a niacinamide serum than a vitamin C serum, and that's pretty misleading. The pH is off on this product as well, which I think is a little bit disappointing because we've already talked about that, and it is packed full of fragrance. There are 8 different fragrant components on the ingredients list, which again, I don't think fragrance is the demon in skincare that some people want to make it out to be, but when you've got a sensitizing set of ingredients, I really won't be layering lots of fragrance on top of that, and 8 is way higher than the average product in terms of the number of fragrant components. This is a product that's going to do next to nothing for your skin, but maybe sensitize it a little bit because it's just packed full of that fragrance. The vitamin C isn't in a high enough concentration to actually make a meaningful difference, and I think this is a lesson in being really, really clear on the concentrations. Just because it says 3.5% on the label, what does that actually comprise of? If you do a little bit of digging, you find it's not a 3.5% concentration of vitamin C, it's way, way less than that. Now, finally, let's come on to the inkey list vitamin C serum. So the inkey list didn't used to disclose the concentration of this product, which I think is a bit problematic, but recently they changed that and said it was a 30% concentration of vitamin C. I applaud that transparency and the move to be a little bit more open about your concentration, so I definitely think that's a big tick in the box. But 30% is a ridiculously high concentration of vitamin C, and I think the fact they didn't previously disclose that is pretty shady, because I won't be putting this anywhere near my skin unless I have super resilient skin that's very accustomed to vitamin C. Beyond just that sky high concentration, there's a couple of other issues with this product. Again, that pH, so it's not in the right pH to actually give a meaningful difference to the skin, and I think this is something that we need to be more aware of as consumers to make sure we're getting a product that's actually just going to deliver rather than just having a sky high concentration. It's also only got 3 other ingredients alongside that ascorbic acid, and all 3 of them are silicons. This is going to be pretty problematic for a number of skin types. If you're super oily and acne prone like me, it could risk exacerbating some of the acne, which isn't a great thing. People can be sensitive to silicons, and I just think this is way too much. It slips onto the skin, it doesn't give a very elegant feel in terms of the formulation, and I think this is definitely a case of really need to go back to the drawing board. The inkey is thinking about the pH that they're formulating their product with, using some other ingredients alongside those silicons. You know, a little bit of dimethicone or silicone in a vitamin C can be a great way of minimizing any irritation that you're going to get and preventing any dryness that vitamin C can trigger. However, it's not enough to just have those. I think this is a fairly lazy formulation that's not going to deliver the results. So there you have it, guys. I've talked about 5 vitamin C serums that I just think missed the mark hard. Collectively, I think what we can learn from these examples are that pH is absolutely crucial when it comes to ascorbic and L-ascorbic acid. Kind of know what pH your product's actually coming in. A lot of brands will disclose this now, which I think is a real step forward. You also need to think about packaging. Is it coming in an airtight packet, again with that ascorbic acid? If it's not, I'd be wondering just how long the shelf life's actually going to be, and are you going to be able to use it before it oxidizes? Price point is key. You don't need to overpay for your vitamin C serum. What are you actually getting beyond just the name of a brand in the terms of the Dr. Barbara Stern one for paying that sky high price? There are some products that command a slightly higher price point but deliver really great additional benefits, one of my favourites being the Allies of Skin Brightening Vitamin C 20%. But you need to be aware as the consumer what you're actually getting for paying more, and a lot of the times brands just rely on our ignorance and hope to charge us based on the name alone. Overall, I think there are so many amazing vitamin C serums on that market, and definitely check out that video I referenced earlier and linked below for some of my personal holy grails. The more we learn about vitamin C, I think the more we know it needs to be in the right pH, it needs to be in the right packaging, formulation, and at the right price point to deliver all that gorgeous radiance boost for our skin. There are so many good guys in the vitamin C game. Stick to those and maybe give these vitamin C fails a firm pass. I'd love to know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions, so sound up in the comments section below. And wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.